What's up guys, welcome to this channel. This is the 5th part of Rimuru's Elegant Escape. If you haven't yet watched previous parts, then you may watch them before watching this video. Link available in the description. I know this part is too late, but these days I'm not getting much free time. I will make a special Tensura video soon for you guys. Now let's start this part. Maldoland Island. My magic perception sensed a few semi-demon lord seed unique specimen, just as Seal had said. One at each of the 4 corners of the island. Seems like they each have their own territory. And in the middle, I could sense a demon lord seed. What's interesting about this is that even though these monsters are fighting with each other, they haven't tried killing one another seriously and are maintaining the equilibrium of the island. There are probably still many monsters whose strength equals that of former demon lord level sleeping in different regions of the world just because they still do not have intelligence. This time, we just coincidentally found one of those monsters. Now then, what does Laplace plan on doing now? While feeling excited inside, I look towards Laplace. Well then, I will have you lot become my underling, but don't make fun of us. Even we can fight seriously here. There's no one who would become Yu-Gi-Oh! As we descended from the ship, Laplace began his speech. Students of different academies were lined up accordingly, with their instructor in front. Including the instructors and guards, there were more than 100 people there. Seems like there were about 30 people from each academy on board the plane. It was wise of them to obediently get down from the ship. After all, if by chance the ship got scratched or something, Laplace would surely go crazy. Well, they are probably thinking of using the ship after beating Laplace here, so both parties are likely thinking of fighting away from the ship. And so, just as Laplace started his speech, one of the instructors interfered. As a result, he was silenced by a punch from Tia. Unfortunately, there's quite a big gap in fighting skills among them, and since it has already been 10 years since the big war, the instructors also got lax and so are no match for Laplace's team. Fufu. If you want to oppose me, you are more than welcome, you know? I will clearly show you the difference in our strength right here and now, how about it? Laplace provoked them, spreading both his arms. You piece of shit. Don't make light of us. We will show you our strength. We will protect you guys. Rest easy. And so they went on. While saying that, they took stance facing Laplace. As they handed over all their weapons, they were barehanded. Come forth, Sky Blade. Manifest. Origin magic, create weapon. One of the instructors splendidly created weapons and passed them on to all the other instructors. Although the weapons have a time limit on them, they were quite strong since they reflected the strength of the user. Considering that instructor's skill, those are probably unique weapons with a 10-minute time limit on them. 4 other instructors were battle types. And as soon as they all got a weapon, the fight had started. I don't even need to say out the result. The instructors did try hard. Really hard. But reality is just too harsh. These people who didn't even cross a rank were no match for even Tia alone. Gloomy cries of the students could be heard from here and there. It pains me to do this, but I can't cut corners since this is all to correct the abnormality going on in the academies. I gave Laplace a small nod. Fufu. As expected of me, super strong. Well. Are there any idiots left who still feel like disobeying me? With pompous behavior, he looked past the students and lightly overpowered them. His appearance was now giving off a feeling of madness, fitting right into the scene. Well, now then, since we have all come to an understanding, I will have yat all wear this. Laplace gathered everyone's attention by snapping his fingers and brought out a bracelet. It's a magic item called the parasite bracelet. It's an assisting tool made by the research team to help with conquering labyrinths, and it displays the information of the person wearing it in numbers. It also quantifies the strength of the monster you defeat and was a trial product to make it easier to see one's score. It was made to record and quantify the monsters one defeated or the traps they undid. If the challengers have this on when they are trying to beat the labyrinth, when they die or return, they can easily see their total points. And we prepare freebies depending on that number. I remember such a project being brought up in the previous meeting. Laplace probably brought that item. That's perfect then. We can also have the bracelet's performance test. Also, Laplace's objective is also probably numbers are displayed on this bracelet. I can understand how you guys lived in this island with just a glance. I think you people probably understood how it works from just that, but as I am really kind, I will properly explain. The first test you have to pass in order to become my subordinate is to survive 1 week in this island. But just surviving seems boring, so I will also be cutting those off who have the lowest scores. Now, isn't it more interesting now? You do understand what I mean by cutting off, right? Well then, this is the start of a fun, enjoyable survival game. His speech seems a bit off, but I guess it's fine. But it does seem like he completely fits into the role, as he explained jestingly. As I thought, he probably plans on motivating the students using this bracelet's numbers. And before I knew it, Tia had gone around equipping the bracelet on each of their hand. Please wait. What do you mean if the number is low? At the very least, can't you tell us the minimum number we need to not get cut off? Oh-ho. To ask a question in this situation, this student has guts. When I looked closely, I realized it was the red-haired demi-human who flared up at the noble. Really, it seems like his half-assed sense of justice and responsibility is strong. You would want to know, wouldn't you? Actually, I haven't got around to thinking about it. While still using his weird expression, Laplace glanced at me for help. You idiot. You didn't think about it. Or rather, it's troublesome if you come asking me for help in this situation. I guess I have no choice. If I use too much of my abilities, they will find out. And stopping the time is out of the question, as Laplace can't move in the suspended world. However, at this distance, it is possible to use thought transmission for ultra-fast thought conversation. If the processing speed is accelerated by 10,000 times, 1 second would be equal to 166 minutes. While thinking of it as a bother, I used thought acceleration on Laplace and his crew. The moment I used the skill. Good day, Rimuru-sama. How did you like my acting? It has been a while, Rimuru-sama. Is it okay to leave the rest of this to us as well? They greeted me, as if they were waiting for it. It's also fine to leave it to them, but I do have the time, so I decided to listen to their plan. Oi, Laplace. You didn't think any further than this, have you? No, I did think a bit, for what it matters, you know? But it's just that I haven't thought of what punishment to give if they score below a certain point, or even what point that would be, since I don't know the students. To think that Red Hair would come specifically asking for the minimum number. It seems like Laplace was planning to act after seeing the results. It is true that he can't carelessly give them a number since he doesn't know how much the students might be able to score, but at times like that, it's fine if you just go, "That is a secret, you idiot." There was that move. With an oops expression on his face, Laplace scratched his head. He looks like he's really aware and shrewd and whatnot, but there are times like these where he's just stupid. Well, there's no point in saying that this late, so let's decide on the number. I brought back the topic from derailment. To review, let's first confirm how this bracelet's scoring method works. Alert movement, 1 to 10 points. Negotiation actions, 1 to 10 points. Monster subjugation, below E to 1 point D, 2 to 5 points C, 6 to 30 points B, 31 to 100 points A, 500 points above A, 10,000 points. Rescue movement, 1 to 30 points. Obstruction movement, -1 to -100 points. Asterisk does not go below 0. Dangerous action, points. Reset murder, points fixed to 0. I think that's about how it was set up, more or less. The actions and movement are areas where the individual is awarded points, but in subjugation, the whole party shares the points. However, I will make it so that they all have at least 1 point. It's a safety measure, cause otherwise it would be too severe. Of course, I wouldn't be giving them a point even if they form a party and defeat a monster below E rank. It goes without saying, but if one subjugates a monster by themselves, they will get all the points. However, there's danger in going down that road. For example, although there are monsters above a rank in this monster, it would be impossible for them to hunt those down. Against one A rank monster, there needs to be 5 B and ranked adventurers for it to be equal. This is the current lowest rank of a floor boss in the labyrinth, but even top parties with 6 adventurers have a hard time dealing with it. To defeat these monsters safely, at least double the amount of members is needed. It would be great if the students who aren't even B rank yet can hunt a C rank monster in a group. If I were to be realistic, it would be hard for these students to even get a 100 points in a week. I see, so they would only go up to a 100 points even if they try really hard. Laplace said with a thoughtful expression after listening to my explanation. For the students, even if they hunted a D-rank goblin, they would only get 1 point each. They won't reach a 100 points even if they beat 14 goblins a day. To begin with, this isn't a monster land or anything, so monsters won't be coming out one after another like in the labyrinth. With the calamity-type monster on the top, a pyramid shape was taking form. We have already confirmed one hazard monster in each 4 sides of the island. Only these 5 are over rank A. Besides that, it seems like there are several other unique monsters of a rank. With these monsters in the lead, they were increasing their numbers and races. But even then, there are like a few dozen B-rank monsters and a few hundred C-rank monsters. And there are barely a few thousand D-rank monsters. If 100 students were to hunt 100 D-rank monsters each, they would need 10,000 D-rank monsters. But such numbers of monsters do not exist in this island, and so they have no choice but to go for dangerous C-rank monsters. Or rather, if they went to do that seriously, then it would disrupt the ecosystem of the island, and I doubt the king of this island would permit it. So logically, that's a no-go. The fact that the number of monsters is less means that the danger is also less. And that is why we chose this island, because we can confirm their safety. It would not be dangerous unless they challenged the semi-demon lord by themselves. As for me, I want them to learn how to cooperate with others here. The ones who are arrogant, the ones who are insensitive, and even the ones who don't believe in themselves. By working hard here, they will learn about their powerlessness, about how important it is to work together with others, and about how they can prove to be useful. It is my aim to make them find something that they are lacking. There's no need to go out of their way to challenge the king of the island or do something risky. And so I explained to Laplace. Laplace and Tia listened closely. Seems like they agreed. Then, let's make the passing score to be 30. But what about the punishment? Just do whatever you like. Huh? In what sense are you implying? Don't tell me. Yep. Don't you think such an idiot being in the academy itself is unforgivable? I do think that, yes. I very much think that. Laplace looked extremely happy. It seems like Tia didn't quite understand, but she understood after my next line. 1 year. I will leave them to you for a year, Laplace-chan. Thank you very much. I feel pumped up already. Also, about the letter of marque, is it really? I don't mind not giving it to you if you doubt it, you know? I am extremely sorry. I believe Rimuru-sama from the bottom of my heart. Laplace looked so happy that it felt like he would go jumping saying Yahoo, any moment now. It seems Tia also caught up as she gave a complacent smile. I guess that is how it is for them, huh? After all, I just officially admitted that they can take low-level students as their subordinate. These two are special agents under Sui's control, so they generally don't really get along well with others. And that's exactly why, even if it's only 1 year, they are so happy to get allies. There's also the letter of marque on top of that. If some country tries to experiment aviation, he plans to instantly go and crush it. If he has subordinates when doing that, that would be the best stage for Laplace. Even for Tia, a subordinate worth grueling training would be a good toy to her, and that also reflected on her smile. However, if a youngster with a future was to get involved in an illegal act. Stupid. I'm the one giving you permission, so it's legal, all right. Listen closely, I am the great demon lord. Although I acknowledge the countries ruling their territories in the land, I do not permit it in the sky. As such, it is only natural for the person who announces his right of exclusive possession first becomes the owner, right? Well, I did need Milim's consent as well, but look at this. Saying that, I brought out a high-class paper with intracerebral imagination. The paper has been hardened through magic and it does not degrade. It's the best paper out there which doesn't have creases, even after being folded. However, what's important isn't the paper but what's written on it. There, under Milim and my joint signature, freedom related to specific objectives in the vast sky were written in clauses. Maybe Laplace had thought that it was only a license to freely use the air above the Juura's Great Forest, which is under my rule. However, the paper I prepared is more of a right to rule the sky permit rather than just a letter of marque. What in the world? What kinda thing have you prepared? He was surprised. Or perhaps exasperated. Laplace couldn't even speak. That means, we will really be able to freely? That's right, Tekin. She screamed Kaya, and clinged onto Laplace. And so, As I also showed them the proof, Laplace and Tia also believed me. That means, in other words, even if a student were to become your subordinate and work under you, that won't be a crime. After all, any ship flying through the skies without asking my permission is basically illegal trespassing. Besides, it would be the students who would be troubled if they talk about it after a year when they are released. Moreover, won't they be able to use that experience they gained over the year and make it their own? Please leave it to me. I will properly educate them. Me too. So much that every day will be paradise. It seems Tia and Laplace both were passionately thinking about their future plan. Now then, since you two properly understand now, let's get back to the topic at hand. Saying that, I switched gears. And like that, in the period of not even a second, we discussed many different things. And we came to a conclusion. As soon as the thought transmission was released, this time, Laplace didn't know any hesitation and started to explain again. And then, well, everyone, do you understand? It's 30 points. Incompetent fools who can't even cross 30 points are not needed in my team. But, I need to use my resources effectively, so I will have you work on a secret base over here. You're free to choose. And so, please do your best and not die. Alright, attention. This is important, so listen closely. We don't need garbage who pull back others. Our leader is kind, so I think he will take really good care of his subordinates. But, you know, selfish people won't be able to become his subordinate. If you want to stay and live here, I won't stop you, but during this 1 week, don't you dare betray your allies, alright? Keep in mind that all your moves are being seen through that parasite bracelet, so act such that you can be proud. Well then, have a fun week. And like that, the two brought it to a finish. And just like that, they left the disordered students in the island.